Well, we might have something of interest today, Mr. Marsh.
Yeah.
Possibly not.
Possibly not.
Here's a question for you. A profound question.
A found question.
Profound.
Profound.
As opposed to profane, which is my normal tack.
Okay.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a noise?
Yes.
Yeah, right, fair enough. And if that tree happens to fall onto a green power cabinet, what kind of noise does that make?
Oh, I'd expect a crunch and possibly a zapping sound.
Yeah, certainly a bit of a crunch. And certainly a loud amount of swearing by the homeowner who engaged some tree types, some forestry types, to trim down his greenery, only for them to manage to knock down a tree or pull down a tree that dragged up a load of roots and pulled up a armoured cable that was buried between two power cabinets, one that contains solar equipment, the inverters for solar equipment, and the other being the main supply to supply the property. So the supply remained working, although the cabinet got mashed because this armour just got yanked right out and basically destroyed everything. And they've been without solar for several weeks now, and they've got this compromised cabinet on site that we've got to replace today. I've never replaced a green cabinet before.
No, it's an interesting one, isn't it?
So this has taken a few weeks to arrange because we've had to get Western Power in to turn off the juice, because we've got this cabinet is around their intake. So they're turning off the power right now. We've got to get to site now because they're there right now turning off the power. They're going to leave it off while we do our work, and then they come back and re-energise it, which is all jolly exciting. So let's go and see.
Yeah, it's either going to be fun or frustration today.
Thank ruddy fuck it wasn't arranged for yesterday, because it absolutely pissed it down all day yesterday.
All day, yeah.
And today is supposed to be a non-rainy day, and not too cold either. It doesn't feel too cold at the moment.
Well, I've bought gloves.
Although you know it's going to get muddy.
Yeah.
Well, let's go see what we can see, old man. Western Power are now National Grid. Who knew? But there's our man over there disconnecting us. So we're being disconnected from the pole up there and from our cabinet there. And once that's done, we'll take a look at what on earth is going on here. There go the Western boys, or the National Grid boys as they now are. 3 vans to disconnect this, and here's Nigel up to his bollocks in the big green box. Before you pull too much of that apart, Master Marsh, let's have a look at what we're doing here for the benefit of our beloved viewer. The one person, Andy Payne or whoever it is who watches this.
Oh, Nigel.
Well, this is one bursted fucking green box. The Western boys were just saying that there were a row of trees around here, probably similar to that row of trees that are over there, and that a great big grabbing machine was yanking them out of the ground because they were fucked, and it was a lawsuit waiting to happen if they were to topple over onto the power lines or whatever. So this machine came, grabbed, yanked out of the ground, and basically what seems to have happened here is this armoured cable which connects this green box to that green box.
They ain't doing it, mate. They'll do it. It's a hand job, I'm afraid.
What, with spanners?
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell Richard R. Blaster what's going on here still. This armoured cable was under the ground, and we think the roots just got hold of it, to the roots of a tree, basically wrenched it out of, if you'd just like to move your fucking fat head out of the way, Nigel, wrenched it out of this IP enclosure here. You can see it was never very well terminated, and there's a lot of strain just on the there was no adequate strain relief on here. just a stuffing gland. It's wrenched it all out of this plastic box here. You can see the armoured termination at the bottom of the box there. So that's fucked this end. Similarly fucked us at this end, this being an inverter for a large solar array, and I don't even know where the fucking array is. I mean, we are out in the sticks. You tell me where the array is, I don't know. But the other end of the armoured cable would have come through there, through that duct, up here, and you can see where it terminated onto an isolator. It's ripped out the isolator and knocked the knob off on its way out by the looks of it in some kind of way, shape or form. So we've got to put a new isolator on there, get this armoured reconnected. There's the armoured sitting there looking very sorry for itself. I'm thinking, you know, we'll just leave this surface run, because if you can see it, then at least you know where not to damage it. So Western have disconnected their head, which is hiding behind Nigel's head. Should we have a look at this head while we can? Because you don't get to see inside a three-phase service head very often. So Western have disconnected us at the back at the pylon there. And, well, there you go. That's what we're looking at. So they've just left that floating for us, and they're going to come back and reconnect all that. So basically we've got to get this lot off the backboard, lift on the new green cab, get the green cab bolted on, bolt this lot back on, repair the damaged components, so new isolator at each end. I think that's probably for the best. Yeah. Re-terminate this properly. What this is doing is this is supplying the feed for the house. So it's a 63 amp C-type breaker which goes off to the property over there, which was a bungalow, an old shitty bungalow. Yes, it was originally, and is now a more modern construction, still not completed, but the line comes in to here, from here to a dB in the house. There are more stories about that house over there than are going to be included in this video, eh? Maybe, yeah. It's one of these where there was some innovation went into building that. The big windows there, they're all heated windows. There's no heating in that house other than heated windows. Wow. That's the theory. But the company that put them in didn't do it properly. No. Is my understanding. And they don't work, or they don't work effectively. So another part of our job today is actually to disconnect the power to the heated windows. Is it? It is, yeah. Oh yes, because he wants rid of that massive cabinet, doesn't he? So there's a big power cabinet in the basement of that place that feeds these windows. I'm not sure, I think it feeds it on a low voltage AC or DC system. I'd like to know how they're going to get it out. But yes, our job is to disconnect this cabinet because they've given up. It's 5 years ago, you know, since we first came here to put in the wiring for those heated windows, and here we are 5 years later and they still don't work properly. The guys had terrible trouble with the company, is my understanding, and is basically just washing his hands of it. Where were they based? Somewhere in Europe, Netherlands or something. Netherlands. Don't know. I don't know the full ins and outs, so I can't really say who's got what here. But our job here for the moment is to get this bastard bad boy off. And Nigel's just been fiddling with his nuts. So with that off... No, you were holding on. Oh, anyway, let's get this done in some way, shape or form. Disassembly is underway. There's only the 4 screws holding that Hager board on now. Everything else is detached. We're kind of hoping we don't have to undo that massive fucking armoured and can just sort of dangle our board down and lift this monstrosity off its base. Oh, good luck with that. Okay, well, let's set up the camera so that you can watch and laugh at our ineptitude. It's detached and wobbling loose. She's a wobbler. Do you reckon we're better off busting out the front of that and then just knocking it back rather than trying to lift it? Yeah. Yeah. Job done. Timber. These cabinets are horrendously expensive, by the way. a replacement cab. It's probably about 1,300 quid or something like that.
Well, let's just drag this one out the way.
Oh, hello. What am I after? What am I looking for here?
Something. Do you have an end to fit a socket in there? There you go.
Of course I do. It's an armoured kit. Armoured! That should go onto my little Bosch thing.
Yeah.
Hey? Hey? Hard for it? Are you hard for it? Just tighten up Nigel's nuts. No one's done that for a while, have they, Nigel?
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, we need a brush to clear this
Clear the area where it's going
area.
before we...
We need to clear Nigel's filthy area.
Let's get that there. I'll go and get a brush before you do something else.
Jolly good. Do hurry, it might rain soon. Look at this, I'm using a spade like some kind of fucking gardening nonce. We really don't want to be getting into putting new anchors into this concrete, so
No,
we've got to try and get that to sit on this, which is going to be a lot of fun, seeing as we've got to sort of put it over this stuff just to see how it lines up.
it's funny how you stand holding a camera.
Yeah, well, someone's got to hold the camera, haven't they? So the front two are 74.
71.
71.
74, 71 and 30.
No, you got no chance, mate.
36.
We're just going to drill new holes.
I know we are. You got to fucking mark them out.
I know.
56.
It's a good job my ace mechanical man's on the case.
96.
He's still measuring those fucking holes. Don't know why he's bothering. You can physically see they're not going to do it.
I'm fucking looking at the goddamn job before it's done.
You don't have to measure it. You can look at it and go, those holes are fucked. What about if we took a big piece of cardboard and used that as a template? We could put it over the holes on that side. Would that work?
Thinking
Hmm.
is if we can create some sort of template or something. I don't know, paper or cardboard or something.
That sounds like a good idea.
Then we could mark the holes accurately, maybe.
We could, yes.
We could.
Yes.
Now, when you're editing, you edit out your bit.
A templatual thing of beauty. Probably. If it holds rigidly enough. Yeah, but that should help us to
The way I'm holding it, you should lift from
ballpark where we need to be.
Let's try and fold these across each other. Okay, right, I'm gonna I can let go of this one.
Yeah, I got it. Hey,
Okay.
hey,
There you go.
hey. Oh, I got it.
Well, I've got a hole here at the front. Yeah, where's yours?
Here and here. That's very close to the edge, so we need to drop it down.
This is why I said tap around it with a hammer. It would have just cut the centre out. But, you know.
Fuck off, Nige.
You know. Once it's on and we're all whooping, woohoo!
Yeah, piece of piss then, and we'll still be in the Hungry Horse by, wow,
10 o'clock.
yeah, no time at all.
Oh, let's get it up to about there. Straighten it up. So where's your hole?
Hang on, we're going to want to. Yeah. It's got going to have to be back enough that we can shove this stuff into it.
Yeah.
Just reposition the camera, otherwise it's just staring up your arse. Nobody needs that in their life.
What's wrong with that, mate? Right.
That's a black hole that even fucking Professor Brian Cox wouldn't want to stare into.
Well, just put it forward, line the holes up.
What do you think I'm fucking doing, you peen arse?
Right. I'll lift, you line.
I'd better the other way around, seeing as you're... Look, that camera's staring right at your arsehole again.
Let's try and keep that one slightly in the hole.
Yeah, yeah.
And then rotate on this one. There we go, those two are in. Okay.
We in business.
Laying down. Going. Down. We're in. We're on.
Hallelujah.
Fucking hell.
So we just need to get some washers over those.
Yeah, we'll get some new penny washers.
I might have some on the van, I'll go and have a look. While he plays with his nuts. I've got these Time Guard 3-pole rotary isolators, 4-pole rather, for the replacing what was on each end of the armoured cable. Quite like Time Guard, a lot of Time Guard stuff. I went for these specifically and I had to order them in from cities, they don't carry them on the shelf. Because look at the room you got to play with in that. Look at the real estate in there. That's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, got some space.
You get some of these rotary isolators, they got absolutely fuck all space in them.
Yeah, nothing.
And you know, once you've terminated your cable, there's just nothing there no space there to manoeuvre your wires within. I don't know what manufacturers think when they make that. MCG are the ones that cities keep on the shelf that are like that.
Yeah.
And you think, well, why would I buy them? They're shit. You got to have fucking room for manoeuvring these things. I hate enclosures where they minimise it so much that you just can't move your cable where it needs to be in any kind of easy fashion. Right, so that's down and stable, bolted to the concrete, or stable as a plastic box can be. As long as nobody goes fucking flying at it should be all right. Okay then, Mr. M.
We just need to bolt it back and walk away.
Yes. Perhaps if I, shall I tackle this end and get the rotary isolator from this end and you get the rotary isolator from the other end? And then I'll get these, I'll get these all bolted back into place.
So there were two rotaries?
No, this never had one at this end.
Right.
But I think it makes sense.
What are you putting it on?
We've got to terminate onto something. We may as well terminate it onto a rotary isolator.
This, yeah, so it's the solar, is it, you said?
Solar, yeah, do you want to see in here?
I've looked, but I haven't looked, if you know what I mean. I've stuck my head in, but I've looked around.
DC's all isolated.
Oh, yes,
That's the AC side, of course, which ain't doing shit. So it's just a case of replace that busted isolator.
DC's killed already, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all off. Inverter's off.
Where are his panels? They on his
I don't know. I was saying that earlier on camera. I don't know where
This is
they
a
are.
long way for solar, isn't it?
It is. I was kind of expecting there to be some kind of ground array around here somewhere. I can see sheeps.
See, I'd have had this in the house.
I can see fields. See for miles.
I can see for miles.
It's just a shame it's a bit of a grim day.
I can see for miles.
But I don't know where the panels are. Or why this is so far away from them. Well, I'd be goddamned. The bloody sun's coming out. It's actually quite pleasant. So far, so good. Probably not my job to put the old Western Power, or National Grid as they're calling themselves this week, put their stuff back up. I expect their chaps would have done that. But, you know, I'm going to be kind and stick it back on the board for them. And they can decide that they like that or not. And if they don't, they're quite at liberty to disconnect it all and redo it. It's fine by me. That's good off my nose. Hopefully they'll turn up and go, oh, cheers lads, thanks for making our day easier. We're off down the pub. And that'll be where I'm going next as well. Dirty great 32mm hole in the bottom of this board here, so I think I'm going to use some flex conduit and a stuffing gland to probably mount my Dubry Daddy there or something, unless I mount it down there. We'll see. Haven't decided yet. It's all going on the fly. Let's go and see what Misery Tits is doing. How goes the easy end of the job? Oh, it's a bit cosy in here, isn't it?
It is a bit.
Now I just have to re-strip the armoured there because the cores were all frayed up. In fact, have you got an example
I
of
wonder
such?
who you were talking to.
Let me just pull that out there. You can see how damaged they were as they got absolutely ripped out. That must have gone with a bit of force, mustn't it?
Oh,
Failed the old tug test.
It torn out of the gland at this end. No, I don't know if the gland was terminated correctly. You know, but
Well, we didn't do it, so probably not.
But it was actually torn straight out the gland. That shouldn't happen. The box should go before it gets torn out the gland, shouldn't it, really?
Decent quality isolator box, obviously. Let's hope these time guards are such as well. So he's battling on with that end. Shouldn't be too much longer on this end. It's 10:47. We got here at 8:30. That's when Weston were here. So we're doing all right. We'll be in the Hungry Horse in time for lunch. Another hour. Boss on. 11:35. Hungry Horse o'clock. Swivel back together here. As back together as it's gonna get. Isolators in. We need to get the cover on that. Need to get the cover on this. We'll flick that down into the off position. Let the boys know that we're done here. We are going to come back this afternoon. We'll see what they do. But we're going to go and grab some lunch on. Nice coffee.
We're going to get the cover on.
Yeah, let's do it. I love it when a plan comes together.
Well,
So far so good. Western Power are back in an hour or so, which gives us time for some cheesy motherfucking chips. Cheesy chip, Nigel.
yeah, I'll go for a cheesy chip.
That's right, that's right. I will allow this.
Oh,
Right, well, let's do lunch and then do this afternoon.
I got a tin of tuna in there.
Like a cat. You basically got cat food in there.
I think I've got the jalapeno tuna. Or it could be ginger and chili, I can't remember.
Who knows, but we will find out later. Nigel will find out when he tastes it, and I'll find out afterwards when I can smell his farts in the van. Something to look forward to for us all.
Fishy farts.
Don't you just love it when you come back from lunch and Western Power are back on site doing their national grid thing?
Not Western Power anymore.
No, that's going to be hard for me to get out of the habit of saying that. That's a car number plate, isn't it?
Ooh la la!
How much do you reckon that cost? Right, let's go and have a look at this thing. While Western do their thing, if this place ever gets finished, it'll have some grand views from these windows. These are the heated windows. Yeah, that's... It's all low voltage, like I say. So it's not like it's mains voltage before you go on about exposed cores or anything. These things weren't exposed originally. We had it all Wagoed, whisker boxed off. But what you've got is a feed for the pane of glass itself, because it's heated glass somehow. It's got some heating element through it. You have door catches, which sense when it's open or closed. And you have a thermostat. Just a Sangano thermostat. Stuck to the wall in a temporary fashion. I was stuck there temporarily about 5 years ago. But the windows don't work properly. Apparently there's all sorts of problems where I think half the time the catches don't close properly to close the circuit. Some of them are also broken, sort of shattered because of the temperature. Somewhere around here is a plant room. Here we go. Jesus! You're like Darth Cunt. Look at this. CU's missing a load of fucking proper blanks.
What happened there?
I don't know, someone's taped over the... That's a big board for not many circuits, isn't it? We probably should go to Cities and get a whole load of fucking DIN rail blanks for that. This beast here is the controller for the heated windows. So these are the transformers that are providing the low power supplies to the window panes. Yeah, like there's some money in that, isn't there?
Copper there.
But the whole system has been unreliable and hasn't worked properly. We supplied the power for this, but some third party came along and installed it all. We put in the cables as well back in the day.
Yeah.
Everything was sort of temporarily run in, and the expectation that a few months later it would all get sorted out, and here we are 5 years later and it still hasn't been. So apparently it's all going to come out. And he's asked us to disconnect the cabinet. There's that'll be the supply coming into here, won't it?
Yeah. That's what we've got to get rid of.
And that's going to this board. This board seems to be missing all its fucking DIN rail blanks. Look at the state of that. What the hell's that in there? No, we didn't put that. Someone else put the board in. I don't know. Oh my God, there is something furry and fucking horrible in there. Oh shit.
It's a rat or something, isn't it?
Oh fucking hell, that's fried itself on the fucking buzz bar.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're getting that out, Nige.
That's something.
How did it get in there?
It used to be alive.
There's all fur and shit stuck to the buzz bar and it's all burnt out. How that must have... Do you reckon that got in through a hole in the top or something?
How did it get up there if it did?
That's fucking hideous. It's all dead at the moment anyway. We'll keep it dead for now. I'm going to have to go back to Cities, aren't I, to get some...
37 blanks.
Blanks. While you get the front of that board off, Nige, and have a look at what's in there. There's some curious cabling going on here.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's all for everything that's in it.
Western Power just finishing up outside. They've got the power back on, but it's still isolated to here at the moment while we see what delights await us within this enclosure. I'm going to go off to Shitties in a minute and get a whole bunch of Hager blanks for this. Now we didn't put this in. Oh, there's always one, isn't there? We didn't put this board in. It was a good few years ago that we ran the first fix wiring in for this stuff. I don't know who put the board in here.
Well, if it was you, your name would be all over it.
No labelling or anything on it. Fortunately, there's only the one rodent in there.
And it's properly in there, isn't it? Fuck me.
That's climbed in through the top. Look at that. Top of that board is wide open with conduits, trunking on the top. It's crawled into the trunking, fallen down into here.
After its head's down the back.
Scrabbled around and then come into contact with the three-phase buzz bar. That's just nasty. Still, it gives you something for your dinner tonight, doesn't it, Nige?
Fucking child. His man's work to the men, eh?
Yes, the lady of the house. It's a good job we got this Unilight, isn't it? It's just the job for a dark hole like this. The lady of the house was just saying this is all effectively scrap to them. That's a decent cabinet, that is, isn't it? Wow. How would you get that out, Martian? You'd have to completely disassemble it and remove those transformers individually.
Even then, that cabinet ain't going to be light on its own.
No, getting that out of here would be an issue. You could use it as a bloody handy cupboard, couldn't you?
It's not as big as it looks because it's all up on bricks, isn't it?
It's a shame though, isn't it? Because obviously, you know, a lot of investment went into this.
I mean, it was craned in before the roof went on in.
Yeah, just the physical installation effort, as well as the expense of the product itself. Schneider kit in there as well. I don't recognise Tico as a brand. But you've got some Schneider contactors here. Oh, that's That's horrible.
I wanted to see how far down the back it went, rather than just removing its head.
Oh, that's fucking crusty.
Most of it's disappeared. Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to go to Cities.
It had most of its... Look, that's its skull. Its head was blown off.
Oh my god.
There's more. Oh, that's where its head is. Oh, I got it.
At this point, I'm going to go and get some
Its head's the back.
blanks. I'll leave you to do the disconnection of that feed, Nige, and to
Scrape this.
have fun without me. I just had to take all the devices out that were below rat level in order to remove what was left of our furry friend. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that you had to do that, Nige, while I went off to CEF to buy a load of Hager blanks.
You owe me a pair of gloves.
You've got plastic gloves on the van, you fool. Yeah, I don't know if you put this board in, but obviously
no, I wouldn't have fancied doing it with ultra thin latex or something. But I've even scraped the connectors in.
I don't know if you put this board in or why they thought that was ever a super solution. It ain't a great job, is it? Must have been like that for some time now. Anyway, these Hager blanks, these are the proper ones that are made for that board that will fit on the DIN rail. And if our furry friends ever got back in, it would keep them away from the buzz bar. I mean, really, the top of that board needs to be sealed up. But should have just got some 75 by 75 stop ends, shouldn't I? Capping ends, trunking ends. I'd have thought about it. Didn't think about it. Looks like Western Power are just packing up outside, so once we've got this back together, we'll go and have a look at what they've done. It is time for us to power up. Western Power, National Grid, keep calling the wrong thing, have buggered off. So let's go see what we can see. There we are. They had a bit of a mishap. The neutral cover dropped down the duct and they were unable to retrieve it, so they've had to put a Henley block cover over it for the moment. Now, you know, I've come out here without any fucking tools, haven't I? And this has got a bloody lock on it. Let's see if I can twist that with the key. Shit. Hang on, that one might do it. Yeah! Main switch on, main house on, solar PV on. Lovely stuff, darling. AC isolator on for solar PV. Not been a bad day, weather-wise or work-wise. 1:48. We're about finished here. Isolator on. DC isolators. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully this will start giving us some information. As I say, I'm not familiar with the solar PV system here or where the hell it is, but it hasn't been working for quite a while. We first came to look at this job. We were called out to take a look at the fact that the cable had been wrenched out between the two cabinets and the old cabinet was smashed. I don't know, it must be a good couple of months ago. But obviously we couldn't do anything until Western Power were booked to disconnect the supply from up the pole there, which obviously they've done today. So we had to wait on them, and thank fuck it was today, not yesterday, as I keep on saying, because it was just pissing it down all day yesterday, and it would have been a hell of a thing. Hell of a thing.
Looks like we're doing something useful. 1.3 kilowatts is coming in from somewhere. Not a huge amount. It can't be a very big array. I mean, I know it's an overcast day. Wherever those panels are, it can't be terribly huge. Well, there's a job you don't get every day. Yeah. Interesting? Probably not.
Not really. Well,
I don't know why we went to the effort of making a video about it.
It was not our average job, was it? It was different for us.
Yes. Shame we can't really film Western Power because they were doing the interesting thing, but I'm sure that they don't want to appear anywhere near our output. Right, well, we're off to the next one, so let's see what those two assholes are doing on their coffee shout-outs this week. Here we are, once again, for some Stogie shout-outs. Oh, I slurred that one then, didn't I? Shout-outs. Some Stogie shout-outs from our Martian studio.
Yes,
in the Martian studio.
Yes.
It's
like being home.
The thing I don't understand is all this fuss from the likes of Elon Musk about getting to Mars.
It wasn't that hard.
Piece of piss.
Yeah,
piece of piss. And we did it on coffee contributions.
Yeah.
And here we are. I'll tell you what, it's shit.
Yeah,
don't bother coming
there's
here.
nothing going on. Nothing at all.
Fuck all out there. I fired up Google Maps a while ago, and nearest pub is 228 million kilometres away. What is the point? So, humans to Mars, don't get it. There's nothing here.
Yeah.
Except us.
Yeah.
And we're probably not going to hang around. But yes, so a Martian studio. What can go wrong?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing can go wrong.
There's nothing here to go wrong.
No, it's all too well done.
Yeah.
We have a few names to fly through. So let's fly through them as we fly over the Martian surface there.
Yep.
Nigel, would you like to begin with name number one? Our man in Sydney.
Yes, Jim Hook, who is a whore.
Yes, and a keen twitcher as well.
Yes.
He's
got those wild birds videos, hasn't he? Yes, very nice. I've seen
lots of wild birds in Sydney. It would seem.
Yes.
So yes, do go and check out Jim Hook's channel. Tom at Nautilus Electrics, who said that flying studio looks expensive. That'll be our previous flying studio, which is very much earthbound. You thought that was expensive? Try coming to fucking Mars, mate.
Yeah.
It took an awful lot of bottle rockets sellotape to the bottom of this place to fire us up high enough.
I've been on Coventry buses that took longer to get to their destination.
Absolutely. Well, no surprise there. Would you like to read out this virgin, Nigel?
Oh, Gabriel
the Virgin.
The Virgin.
Who says, thank you for all the entertainment and knowledge you've been sharing all these years. I fear we're lacking in both, especially today. Michael Cox of M. Cox Electrical, a well-known whore of ours. Yeah, well, in terms of name anyway.
Yeah.
Who says, I'm glad you haven't sold your souls. We might be selling out a little bit. I'll talk more about that in our announcements in a moment. Nigel, another familiar name to us.
The oldest apprentice in the Northwest. A name we've heard many times.
Could you do a video on what tests you actually do on site and how you fill out the minor works, please? Am I allowed to add an existing circuit while doing my apprenticeship?
Yeah.
Yes, basically, yeah. Yes, you are allowed to add an existing circuit. There's no licensing for electricians in this country, so as long as you have...
Especially for minor works, it's...
Yeah, as long as you have permission for whomever's installation you are modifying, then no one is going to go kicking down your door.
Yep, you can fill in the minor works certificate. Yeah, it's fine.
Obviously, it is your responsibility. If you do it wrong and burn the place down or happen to kill somebody, then yes, you are going to be the person in the frame. If you're producing the paperwork for it, then yes, that's obviously a sign that you hopefully are doing it right.
Yes.
I'll do the best of your ability. In terms of doing a video about minor works, we probably could. It's just finding time, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's all sorts of videos we could do, but unfortunately we have to keep going out and doing fucking electrical work.
Occasionally, yeah.
Major pain in the arse. Test Gear Junkie, Sammy and Ria up to north, up in Aberdeen.
North.
Still waiting, another one. Still waiting for us to do a video that we'd said we'd do.
Well, again, there's so many plans and ideas.
Well, a lot of that one's already in the can because it's kind of recorded. It's just finding time to edit it. Maybe that'll happen over Christmas. We've got Christmas going in a few weeks.
Maybe you won't drink and you'll edit it over Christmas.
Yeah, it's more likely that I should just be drunk for 2 weeks and just wake up and find it's January and I haven't done anything useful.
Yes.
There's a name that you would recognise, Nigel.
Andy Karouche.
Karouche. Andy Karouche, who says the lovely Liz wants to see a provocative photo shoot with you and your motorcycle, Nigel, so that Liz can see your shiny helmet.
Oh, I'd have to get the bigger bike out for that. The Bonneville. Yes.
I'll send you some photographs. I'll DM you some pictures from my personal collection. Steve Skillen, another whore of ours. Enjoyable and educational as ever, says Steve, about goodness knows which video. I didn't think we'd done any that were describable as such. Nigel?
Ivor Biggin.
Have you indeed?
I have.
Our third contribution from Ivor Biggin, so thank you very much to Ivor.
Yes.
And his Biggin. David Patterson, thanks again for your efforts. Not a lot of effort's gone into this, other than the fact that we had to build something that would fly us to Mars.
Yeah.
Piece of piss, it turned out. Piece of piss. At Geordie Sterling. A virgin.
Enjoyed the bloody Brummy CU change out.
We didn't, did we? We almost got killed.
Bloody war zone, Birmingham.
Another virgin in the name of Shane. Keep up the good content, says Virgin Shane.
Thank you, Shane.
We shall certainly keep persevering in doing what we're doing, I fear.
Yep.
Until we don't. Another virgin, Guy Collins, a.k.a. Junk Monkey.
Junk Monkey.
Who simply says, bollocks.
Well, thank you very much.
Most profound. Thank you, Junk Monkey. One super wank to read out, which is, Nigel, if you care to do the honours.
Tony Dunlop.
Who is a green super wanker.
Green super wanker.
And has therefore donated £5 to buy a new Nigel after you got punched out by Adam. That was a few months ago now.
It was. I've recovered quite well, but if you want to get a new Nigel, if I get the wages...
Still a bit slack-jawed, aren't you? A couple of announcements, no special mentions this time, but a couple of announcements to mention. We said about not selling ourselves out, we're going to do a little bit. Only in that some mid-rolls may sneak into some of these videos. I'm sorry about that, but it's just horrendously expensive to be doing this. Equipment and props and lost working time is kind of taking its toll a little bit. So to keep the content up, some mid-rolls may appear. But remember, everything on here or everything on YouTube is on Odyssey advert free. So if you go to dses.uk, you'll find a link to Odyssey at the bottom of every page on that bloody website near the YouTube link. So you can always view this nonsense without any kind of Google tomfoolery.
Yeah, I think, we got to apologise for that, but I think it's become necessary.
We will keep them to an absolute minimum.
Yes.
If they're used at all. A lot of our stuff gets demonetised, to be fair. All he's got to do is get his dick out, and that's it. It's like, no payment at all for this one. What else we got here? OnlyFans.
Yes, I hear that you started an OnlyFans page.
It's not what you think.
Isn't it? Because I'm thinking.
There's a page on the DSES.uk website. If you go to DSES UK, type OnlyFans in the search field. There's a page where I thought we would put some more information about these videos, which may or may not be of interest to people who find these things interesting.
Yeah, I know I won't be allowed.
No. So it's not really an OnlyFans. It's just somewhere where there's a bit more information sometimes, or it gives a bit more chronological detail about when things were released and how they were filmed and that sort of thing. It might or might not be of interest to anybody, but it's there. And finally, Unreal Tournament 2004.
Yes.
You may have seen on Twitter or Mastodon that Nigel and I fancied firing up a 20-year-old computer game recently, did we not?
We did.
Why Unreal Tournament 2004?
Because you haven't got a computer powerful enough to play a modern game.
Well, there is that.
We've had a lot of fun on Unreal Tournament, haven't we?
Yeah, it's a nice, simple little thing. Fire, frag, forget, respawn, etc. You know, you don't have to do any tutorials or anything about it. So we set up a private server. Yes. We don't know how it's going to go. It might be a complete disaster. But again, if you go to DSES.uk and type UT 2004 into the search box, there's a page there of more information where Nigel and his red team and me and my blue team and a bunch of bots.
Named after your favourite YouTubers.
Yeah, a bunch of bots. We might set up a sort of semi-regular thing where we spend a couple of hours a week just
weekly,
shooting
an hour or two
out of each other. And if you want to come along and shoot Nigel in the face,
you're welcome.
That's fine by me. But check out the website for more details. We don't quite know how that's going to run yet at the time of the recording this.
Yeah, it's going to be a private server. We'll figure out a way to get server password to you and server name.
Keep the riffraff off, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Last time I looked, it cost £9 on Steam if you haven't already got an old copy.
Yeah, it's a cheap game. Just about any PC will run it.
That's kind of the point, isn't it? Is that
you don't need a particularly good graphics card. Dave runs it on an office PC.
So it might be a thing, or it might die a death. We'll see. But Christmas again is coming, so we might spend a bit of time over there just not making the videos that we're supposed to be making, catching up on, and instead just having a bit of a frag fest.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, so thank you to all of those named on the screen right now. It's you who make Ridiculum like our Martian coffee studio the reality that it really is. I do think, though, Nigel, it's been a rather roaring success.
Yes,
I'm not sure why we didn't think of this before.
Yes, it's been a good one. I think.
I think if coffee contributions can get you to Mars, then Elon ought to look into it himself. I think he's short of a.
I know you watch it, Elon. So I think that's for coffee.
Attention! Atmosphere warning. Hull breach detected at front door.
Oh, fucking hell, Martian. You did remember to gaff the tape up the fucking front letterbox, didn't you? Oh, Jesus. What does a Martian atmosphere do to the human body?
I don't know. What does it do?